Okay, so my name is Christina, and I usually don't do this, but I'm going to tell you a little story, but I'm not going to put the people's name in it, their real names. So I met this guy through his mom. I worked with his mom at a time, at a point, I worked with her, and she was nice at the time. And she's like, yeah, my son's nice. I just want him to find somebody that they don't argue with and whatever she says. So went to the bar where she was playing with the band. And so I met him there. Well, he seemed like he was nice and all this. And then all of a sudden, um, like he was nice and all that. And then we got together, but we got together fast. Like we should have just took it slow. Well, his mom was like, well, take it slow. So I was like, okay, I'll take it slow. And then, and then he didn't really want to take it slow though. He just wanted to go fast. Well, anytime you said anything to him about anything, he would get mad and he'd be like, just cuss you out for anything. Like you couldn't tell him anything, and he didn't have a job at the time, so he was just like living off of me. And like there was a time that he got mad at me, like we were supposed to go out or something, and well, I worked all day. He wasn't working, so I worked all day, and I was tired, and I had my two kids with me, and we fell asleep, and he came home, and he's like, "Well, I thought you were gonna take your kids to your mom's," and I was like, well, yeah, but I'm tired. Well, he got mad and stormed off and was gone for like all night, and he ended up with being with his ex. And I found out that, and he said, "Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that," but he was with his ex. And so, like, we were off and on, and then we got in a fight, whatever. And he's like, "I don't want to be with you anymore," whatever. And then later on, we got back together again, and that was a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but just getting back with him was a mistake. And then I ended up having a baby. Well, I got pregnant. So I went and told him. I said, "Hey, I'm having a baby. I'm pregnant." He's like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." Well, let me go forward a little bit. So when we were together the first time, he was like, we were going to Walmart, and he was like, "Oh, let's use this for maybe you can get pregnant." So I'm like, okay. So we were going to use that and stuff to get pregnant. And then after I told him, after we broke up and then we got back together and I got pregnant, then he left me. And then he turned around and said, "Well, you knew I didn't want another kid." I was like, we were trying to have a kid together." He's like, whatever. So he lied and said he never said that. Well, then after he left me, he got with this other lady. Then he got married to her, and he did not have nothing to do with me or the baby for months and months. Like I told him, "Hey, I want you to go to the appointments and stuff." He's like, "No, I'm not going to the appointments," and blah blah blah. And I mean, he just did not want to be around the baby. And then he would come around once in a while, whatever. And then eventually, and then later on, he like divorced that lady, and he got with somebody else. Well, then he moved to another part, yeah, like I don't know, another county or something. So he moved away. Well, he knew he had a baby with me, and he just moved away. Didn't care. He was not around. And then all of a sudden, he he got away from her and he got with somebody else, and he barely had anything to do with the baby. And then after he got left her, he got with somebody else. Well, now this person, like she was trying to like make him be involved. She's like, "Yeah, come on, you need like whatever." So one day he came over and he was threatening me. He's like, "Well, I have rights to the baby, blah blah blah," and well, he didn't see her. I said, "Well, she's sick. She don't need to be going." "Well, I'm gonna go to court, blah blah blah. I'm gonna get the baby. Well, I'll let him have her." And then all of a sudden, he wouldn't let me have her back because he's like, "Oh, you're crazy. You did this. You do that." Well, he took my baby, wouldn't let me have her back. I had to go to court and all this, get him file a motion, all this to get the baby back. And like he didn't have nothing to do with her for months and months and months. And he comes around trying because he was with this person. Well, all of a sudden he got her pregnant, and he barely had anything to do with the baby. And then her and him split up. And then now, yeah, he split up, whatever. He split up. I don't think he has that much to do with that baby either. Well, now then he got with somebody else, and then that didn't last, and now he's with somebody else. But I have to say this: every time he breaks up with somebody, he tries to come back to me, and I'm like, dude, like, no, like, I'm not like somebody to get like, yeah, he always would use me. Well, there's times like when he was with these other women, he would come and like, oh, I need $50, $80, or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not no bank. And like he would never pay me back. Like I did it like 2 times. Yes, people would be like, "Well, you're stupid," but yeah, I gave him money too because I loved them at the time. I did. Like I cared about him because I thought he was going to come back. Because he's always saying, "Well, you know, me and her don't work out. I'll come back with you." And so I always believed it. And then it just was lies and lies. And then he still don't have nothing to do with the baby. Like he's after he did all that, we went to court and he like barely had anything to do with her, and then he gets with all these women, and then he doesn't want nothing to do with the baby. And I told him like, you need to like not get with all these women. You need to focus on your kids. He has like 8 kids, I think, and it's just. And then I told him, like, hey, you need to pay child support. And so I have another ex, but he's in jail. We're not gonna go in there, but get into that, but he's in jail and he's like, well, he still need to be paying child support. Well, he's on Social Security, my ex. Well, you can't pay when you're in jail when you're on Social Security. He just didn't want to pay, and I was like, you need to pay. And he's like, blah blah blah. Well, I think he quit his job that he had. He had a good job, and I think he quit it. Now he works somewhere else, I think, and because he doesn't want to pay child support. And this guy, he just lies. Like he's saying all these women he was with treat him bad, and I don't know. I'm not there. Like I don't know, but he lies about all these women. Like his mom don't like me or any of the women because he lies. Like his mom doesn't know what he did. Like when he was with me and stuff. Like anytime you said anything to him, he would get mad and say blah 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 and just cuss you out. Walk out, slam the door. It's like that's not how you be in a relationship. Like I even told him it's 50-50 and you need to talk. He didn't want to talk. He just like just walked off. Like his mom does not know how he acts, and then he's always. That's why I get irritated. Like I mean, yes, we have a baby. We had a baby together, but it's like the only good thing came out of that relationship was the baby. Other than that, he just doesn't care. Like I try to explain to him about something. I'm like, hey, you know that incident that happened when I was really tired. You got mad and you walked out, and I'm like, I'm a single mom. He's like, so like he didn't care. I'm like, dude, like you don't have feelings for anybody, and he uses all these women. I feel bad. Like the other person he was with before he got with his other person, they wasn't even together long, like 6 to 7 weeks, and he cannot stay with anybody long. I think like maybe the longest he was with somebody, well, he was with somebody before, I don't know. He was with a lot of people, I don't know, but he was with this one person for 11 months. The one that he had a baby with, I think he was with her for like 9 or 10 months, but they like broke up for, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks. And then she was having the same problem. She's like, well, you say anything to him, he gets mad. Like anything. If you say anything to him, he gets mad at you. It's like in a relationship, you can't do that. Like you go into a relationship, and then like the other guy that I had the 2 kids with before her, like he was like the same way. Like he was just abusive. Like you told him you talk to him or you tell him anything, he would get mad. But that guy, we're not going to get into that guy right now. But the guy I'm talking about, he's just not any better. Like then he just lies and the stuff. I get so mad. Like every time I just think about him, and then he texts me like last week. He's like, "Oh, how's the baby doing?" But then he doesn't contact you like in a couple of weeks after, and because I told him he needs to go pay child support, he don't want to do it. It's just sad. Like you have a baby together, and And then he lied and said, and then he said I trapped him, and I'm like, I never trapped you. Like I should have just had like the video camera when me and him was dating, to tell him like the truth what he did. Cause like I remember we were at Walmart, and he was like, here, this stuff might make you get pregnant, and like he was trying to get me pregnant, and he's like, oh, you trapped me, and then the girl he was got pregnant, that he got pregnant too. She got pregnant, whatever. She was like on the phone. She would always talk on the phone and would just yell like, "You trapped him. You did this. You did that." And I'm just like, you don't even know the situation, and you want to sit there and you want to talk. And she would always do that. Like she would always run her mouth, and I was like, you need to tell her to stop. This is between me and you, not me, you, and her. They were just like talk about like it's like you trapped him too. You gotta had a baby with him too. But I wasn't even trying to trap him. He wanted to have baby, and then he just, I don't know. He's just not a good guy. I mean, I wish I never met him, but I guess I got a baby. But I just wish I never met him because he just does not know how to treat women. Like you don't do that to women. Oh, I want to go and I'm gonna treat them like how I want to treat them. Like no, like we're people too. I mean, it just makes me mad when he just lies. Like, he lies about everybody. Like the one he was married to he left me when I was pregnant with her, and he lied. Oh, she hit me in the head, and she did this, and she did that, and it's like I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know what she did. And these other people, oh, we always fought, and they treated me badly. Well, I don't know. Like I'm not there. Like I did try to treat him as good as I could. Like I bought him things like ear pods and stuff, and I did as what I could do because I cared about him. I did. Like I really loved the guy, and then I'm just like, then what he did, like he would take advantage of me. Yes, I know I'm stupid because I would give him money, but like I cared about him. Like he was supposed to be this person that like his mom, oh, he's good, he's a good guy, and no, and she's not any better. Like I'll tell you another incident. Uh, After I quit the job, while he was coming over, he was trying to cheat on his wife. The other wife, I don't know, he had like 5, 6 wives. I don't know how many wives he has, but he was trying to cheat on her. So I went and wrote a note saying, "Hey, your husband's cheating." Well, he called me and he's like, "Hey," whatever he said, and I was like, "Well, I didn't really say much, but I said okay." And then him and her went to where I worked at and said I was harassing them. Well, I wasn't harassing them. I was trying to tell her what he was doing. Well, some people might think I wasn't harassing, and I wasn't jealous. Like, the guy was cheating. And then they went to my old job where I worked at and went and got me a criminal trespassing because they said that I was harassing. I was not harassing him or them. Because this lady was like, well, she still works there. And she's like, well, I talked to her, but she got mad at me. But I talked to her. She's like, well, the email said you were harassing that Brad because she said you said he was cheating. She didn't believe me. I was like, I'm not lying. Like he did. He was trying to cheat. That's what he does with all these women, cheat. And then I'm just like, I don't even want to talk to anybody because everybody says I'm crazy or it's in my head. And it's just like, I know the truth and people can say whatever, but I know. And then in that criminal trespass, his mom was like saying, well, putting in there, well, she said she was afraid of me. It's like, what am I going to do? It's like, she just not any better than her son. And her son just got really serious problems. Like, he gets with all these women and then he talks about them bad. It's like they don't know the truth. He's the bad one. Like I said, I cared about that guy. I did a lot of stuff for him. I worked while he was doing whatever he was doing. Like, I cared about that guy. And then he did that. He lied and cheated. He's like, I never cheated. It's like, he was at your ex's house. And he's like, well, she wasn't there. I don't know if she was there. I don't think she had a car at the time. and all this stuff. So he was just like lying because he was just saying, "Oh, I don't know," but I caught him in a bunch of lies upon lies. And but like I said, I know the truth, and people can say whatever, but I know the truth about him. And that's why I'm not gonna say what his name is or nothing. But people might see me and be like, "Oh, that's whoever." Like they'd be like, "Oh, I know her," but the thing is, I know what he does, what kind of person he is, and he's not a good person. Like, and I feel bad for all these women that he gets with, but I don't say nothing because he'd be like, "Oh, well, she's just jealous." I'm not jealous. It's like he just should be treating women right, and he's like, "Well, only reason why I was trying to cheat on them because they treat no like." No, like when you're in a relationship, you don't do that. He's like a 30-something-year-old man in like a 15-year-old body. Like he thinks all these women want him. Even his stepdad before he died was like, he thinks all these women want him. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for him too because I mean, he probably I don't know, like something had to happen. He told me a couple of things happened, but I don't know if it's true. But I don't want to say it's not. But he told me a couple of things happened when he was a kid and stuff, but something made him be like that, or unless if he was just like that, I don't know. But I just feel bad for all the women he's with, and then he caused me just like problems upon problems, and especially when he took the baby, won't let me have her back because he's like, oh, like you're, and then the cops showed up, and the cop was like, well, you're crazy, saying and like I couldn't get the baby because they were saying I was crazy, and I'm like, dude, anybody. And then I went and talked to my coworker. Well, they all think I'm crazy too, my coworkers. But she was like, well, any person would act like that to get their baby back. So I mean, it's just what they do. He just puts people through crap. But there's a little bit of my story, and I'm gonna let you go. Good night.